Hello, Liverpool fans. Welcome to the Liverpool Report, your go-to source for the latest news, match updates, and transfer stories straight from Anfield. Don't miss out on any of the action. Hit that subscribe button now and stay in the loop with all things Reds. Jamie Carragher has told Liverpool that a victory at Manchester City this weekend should secure them the Premier League title, if history is to be believed. The Reds, having drawn 2 of their past 3 games, head to the Etihad Stadium on Sunday to take on Pep Guardiola's battered and bruised side 8 points clear at the top of the table, having played a game more than Arsenal. City have just gone out of the Champions League and are miles off it in the title race, but remain a formidable opponent. Liverpool have a poor record on the blue side of Manchester, and failing to win would allow the Gunners to further close the gap. However, a victory would see Arneslot negotiate arguably the toughest fixture left on the calendar. A loss in Manchester on Sunday, coupled with an Arsenal win at home to West Ham a day earlier, would flip the title race on its head, with Carragher underlining the value of a victory. He wrote in the Telegraph, beat Manchester City at the Etihad and win the title. It sounds more straightforward than it is, and no one will be making such a wildly premature declaration if Arneslot is celebrating an away win on Sunday night. But history informs us that victory in this fixture can be the difference between being champions and runners-up. Carragher has pointed to results in Manchester as being defining in recent years. Jurgen Klopp failed to win there in 2019, and 2022 doing so would have seen him land 2 more titles. Had Arsenal won, rather than drew, their last year, they would be carrying the tag of the champions. One area that gives Carragher confidence is the Liverpool front line. Slot is spoilt for options, and the Reds often find the back of the net. Arsenal are not as lucky, with injuries ripping through their attacking resources, albeit they remain solid defensively. The Sky Sports pundit pointed out, though, that history suggests a more potent attack will ultimately edge out an impressive defence when it comes to lifting the trophy. This title race is a battle between Arsenal's superior defence and Liverpool's more varied striking options, he said. The positive news for Liverpool is that across the 32 Premier League seasons, more often than not, the title winners have been the team with the best attack rather than defence. Carragher also confessed that both Arsenal and Liverpool need work, which is likely to be aided by some shrewd recruitment this summer, and whichever team can cover their cracks may end up as champions. He said the title will be won by the side who can overcome their current imperfections to get over the line. Luis Suarez has hailed Darwin Nunez after the Uruguayan missed a sitter in the draw at Aston Villa and then copped it from his manager. The Reds drew 2-2 at Villa Park, but in the second half Nunez was presented with an excellent chance. Dominik Szoboszlai squared it to the forward, who appeared from the bench, but he missed the target from close range despite no goalkeeper being in sight. Liverpool's draw ultimately saw them open the door slightly for Arsenal and continued the narrative around Nunez, who has been criticised for being wasteful in front of goal throughout his time at Anfield. Arneslot was less than impressed with the forward, not for his glaring miss, but for the attitude he showed after missing from close range. The Dutchman claimed his work rate dropped off in the period after his blunder, but Suarez has leapt to Nunez's defence. Nunez maintained on social media that he would give it my all until the last day I'm here in Liverpool. Suarez, who was a huge success at Anfield, replied to the forward's post with a glowing endorsement of his attitude and character. His fellow Uruguayan said, "Of course, goal scorer, that's how I love you. That's the attitude, always positive. Let's go up." Liverpool's number 9, who joined from Benfica in 2022 in a club record deal, has scored 6 times in 35 appearances this term and is by no means a regular starter at Anfield. There is talk of a summer exit for the Uruguayan as the Reds consider reshaping their attack. Slot was questioned on Nunez's display and said, "I can accept every miss, especially from a player who scored 2 very important goals away at Brentford, and that scored for us in the home game against Villa in November. I would prefer him to score, but the word chance says it all. It is a chance. It is not 100% that it goes in the goal. I can accept misses. But what is harder for me to accept is his behaviour after the chance. It got too much in his head. He was not the usual Darwin who works his socks off and makes sure he helps the team. He was too disappointed that he missed that chance. Maybe we will never know, but maybe that is why he was just a fraction short the moment afterwards. Jan Molby was left confused by Trent Alexander-Arnold's claim that winning the Ballon d'Or would mean more than winning the World Cup. The Liverpool star has achieved so much in his young career thus far, including winning the Premier League and Champions League, but there's one award not on the 26-year-old's mantelpiece that he most desires. During an interview last October, he was asked what he'd rather achieve out of winning a second Champions League title, winning the Ballon d'Or, becoming Liverpool captain, or winning an international trophy with England. To the surprise of some, the defender, who is out of contract in the summer, opted for the individual prize currently held by Rodri, given the history he'd make as the first full-back to ever win the award. "Because I believe I can," he told Sky Sports after picking the Ballon d'Or as his choice. "I want to be the first full-back to ever do it. It's only the morning after you retire that you're able to look in the mirror and say, I gave it everything I got. It doesn't matter how many trophies you win or how many medals you've got." Alexander-Arnold's comments were called odd by Molby, who spent 12 years of his career at Anfield. The Dane declared that should Real Madrid, who bid £20 million for him last month, clinch a move for the star in the summer, he wouldn't be the best player at the Santiago Bernabeu. Trent saying winning the Ballon d'Or would mean more than winning the World Cup is an odd statement to make, he told bonuscodebets.co.uk. "You don't expect to hear that from anybody who plays in a team sport. But I understand the importance of winning the Ballon d'Or. We saw how disappointed Vinny Jr. was when Rodri won it. Trent, as good and as unique a player as he is, will find it difficult to be the best player at Real Madrid, let alone the world." Molby admitted should Alexander-Arnold leave for Spain, Liverpool will be in good hands with understudy Connor Bradley stepping up to the plate. While acknowledging the supreme talent the Englishman possesses, the former midfielder claims that the Northern Ireland captain has a big future. "Trent is a unique footballer," the 61-year-old said. "He's a right back, but more so, he's a very good footballer. Connor Bradley's different. He's always in the right position when we defend or attack. He's never overexposed, he's quick and he's determined. Whilst I don't think Liverpool will be happy to see Trent go, it's an area I think the club can cope with and maybe get a backup in. But it looks like Connor Bradley has a big future in the game. A big future in the game." Arneslot said Darwin Nunez was on a downer after his horror miss stalled a second-half fight back. The Reds chief said the Uruguayan couldn't hide his disappointment in the dressing room after the table toppers had to settle for a point at Villa Park. Nunez wasted the chance to fire the Merseysiders back in front, following Trent Alexander-Arnold's deflected shot, which levelled matters after Aston Villa had taken a 2-1 lead at the break. The South American managed to clip the ball over the bar from 6 yards with the goal gaping, reviving memories of another dreadful gaffe from over 3 decades ago when Ronnie Rosenthal somehow clattered an effort into the crossbar with the net at his mercy. Slot said, "If you look at the chances in the second half, there is one player in the dressing room who feels quite down. You know who it is." After a draw at Goodison Park last week and lacklustre victory over Wolves, the Dutch coach was asked if he felt his team had suffered a dip in form. This point stretched the Reds' lead at the top of the Premier League table to 8 points. Ahead of Sunday's blockbuster against faltering Manchester City, Slot said he was heartened far more by this show than he was about the previous 2. He said, "In terms of performance, we weren't really at it at all, Everton, but for obvious reasons, we were unlucky to come away with a draw. I liked this performance a lot. Much, much more than I liked it against Wolves, playing the ball out from the back, creating chances. If you go away to Villa, that's always a difficult fixture. At the start, the season, you know Villa away, that's a difficult one. Manchester City away, that's a difficult one. So, performance-wise, not a dip at all today, in my opinion. What we must not do, and we've done a bit too often now, is we don't get what we deserve. If you look at all the chances and put them in a row, from us and from them, I think it's clear which team should have won this game. We must not make a habit out of that because it's happened a bit too much now. Villa striker Ollie Watkins, who netted a header to give Villa the lead on the stroke of half-time, said it was a tough game there at the top of the league for a reason. But we have a strong record here and always make it hard for teams. Even though we went behind, we reacted well and could have nicked it at the end. Unai Emery is really demanding of us, and we haven't been performing well of late, so he will be happy with that performance.